I mean, I'll still be renewing. I might have to sell my horse on the corner of the street somewhere, but I will. I'll get the money from somewhere. You know what I mean?
Well, the referee was literally twerking for them all game when he let.
Right, hello everybody, and welcome to another video on Jazzy and Steve. This time it's the match preview for the Saturday game away at Coventry. Now, in this video, we will be touching upon obviously the Preston game on Tuesday night, general news about Sunderland because there's been a few things come out this week, and obviously the Cov game, which is what the purpose of the video is, and then our thoughts on how we should approach the game.
Well, first things first, hit the thumbs up and subscribe if you're brand new to the channel. It helps us out massively.
And of course, this video, like all of our videos now, are brought to you by Tyne & Wear Garage Doors.
Now then, the shirt giveaway, I'll get these out the way before we get into the nitty gritty. We've got 2 shirt giveaways. All you have to do is guess the right score, comment below, and you'll be, put in a hat and we'll pick it out on the live stream, which he'll not be here because the jammy so-and-so is gone to this game.
I am indeed. I will be at Coventry.
So I'll be doing the live stream by myself.
And I'll, depend on how much drink I have, I might do a vlog of sorts.
I like your weird vlogs and anyway what you do, the class.
Aye.
Now then, we may as well kick things off with the last game, which was Preston. I tell you what, mate, I've never seen anything so embarrassing in all my life in what their players did. Porteous, him was an absolute joke. The way he dived to the ground pretending he got hit off Luke 09. Yeah. It really was embarrassing.
Well, he did that blatantly because we were having a flurry of attacks, and then he did that just to stop the momentum. That's what it was. I've seen it back in slow motion many times. Luke 09 didn't even flinch at him. He just threw himself down because it was a head injury. The referee had no option but to stop the play, and therefore it stopped the momentum and stopped our attack.
Do you know what, mate? I do understand why they were digging it. Obviously, they came for a point. They were sitting in. And that was, their game plan.
They were winning at the time.
They were winning. So I didn't get why they just decided to cheat, basically, because that's what happened. And the terrible thing what they've done with the substitute, they were just bringing one on at a time instead of making like 3 like you would. And then they left the players on the pitch and the ref lost control.
That Porteous thing was just the start of a flurry of embarrassing events by Preston, and it really was disgraceful. And it's been spoken about all the time, and the EFL are actually going to charge them for their actions. I mean, like you say, with the substitutions, one player went down pretending he had cramp. Listen, the professional athletes, I'm sorry, like I play for over 40s and people didn't go down with cramp. You know what I mean? This is their bread and butter. Went down with cramp, then they made one substitution, one went off, and then when that happened, then another one sat down. It was just a shambles, an absolute shambles. And then the cheeky bastards made a substitution, brought a player on, and the other player never went off. So they tried to kick off with 12 men. Obviously, they got the referee notice, or the 4th official notice. They told the referee that he did a quick head count, and then got them to sort it out. But it was a shambles, and that's why there was 9 minutes of added time.
Well, the referee was literally twerking for them all game, wasn't he? Let's be honest. The way he went on was, he lost control of the game, in my opinion. To go around counting heads, it was just a joke. Listen, I'm not taking anything away from our performance. I thought we were terrible, mate.
We were.
We were terrible.
We didn't stop playing for the last 10 minutes.
No, we didn't. 80 minutes, I think it was, when we decided to play. When Meppen just got furious with the cheating, he tried to drag a few of their players off, and then I think it upped our game, and then the fans start singing, and listen, it wasn't the best.
Well, that's what Reggie said. Reggie said that shambles of what happened was a godsend for us because it then kicked us into a different gear, and then we thought, right, we're sick of them tapping the mix, so then we kicked into gear, but it was like too little too late. Obviously, Mundell wonder goal, got the equaliser.
Unbelievable that was.
And so in the end, we're lucky to get a point, if I'm honest with you.
Well, a few in the first half chances were missed. Isidor's header springs to mind. How he put that wide is beyond me. Puts that away any other day.
Another one in the second. Well, what's another chance in the first half? And then in the second half, there was a good bit of football by Sunderland. Isidor put a cross in, and it was landing on Watson's volley, and Mayenda stuck his toe and took it off him and put it over. It was just one of them ones where nothing was falling for us.
Mayenda was a little bit selfish. Like, he got into the box and all he had to do is square it, and Isidore was waiting for a tap in.
But that's a striker's thing.
Exactly,
it's a striker's thing.
That's what strikers do. So I think I said the same thing on TikTok.
If he did it and it came off, you'd be praising him for doing it. But you know what I mean.
100%.
But obviously we played 4-4-2, which we'd been crying out for. So many of you've been crying out for, and yes, it didn't work. And so then loads of people have been, hope the 4-4-2 people are happy, hope they're happy. The reason why we wanted 4-4-2 is because we played mint against Sheffield United and against Portsmouth using that formation. We went to it on Tuesday night. When I seen that, I was buzzing. I thought, champion, here we go. But the team did look a bit disjointed. People were getting in each other. Mayenda and Isidore were getting in each other's way. Tommy Watson was pretty much non-existent on the left, because I think every time he's played on the left for us previously, it's been in the 4-5-1. So there's been 3 in the middle, and he's been able to stay out wide. But because it was on the left of a 4, he had to do a bit more work, which maybe he wasn't used to. Listen, we went for it in the 4-4-2. It didn't pay off. We did revert back to the 4-5-1 in the end.
But going back to the 4-4-2, for me, there's a time and place. At home should be 4-4-2. Now, when we're going to play at Coventry, which we'll get into in a bit, I think we should go back to the 4-5-1. But at home, 4-4-2, you should be doing that, especially teams like down the bottom half of the table who are struggling.
When we've done it twice previously at home this year, it worked. It didn't on Tuesday.
But let's be honest, mate, the team have got to turn up as well in that formation, or any formation. The team was shocking. It was probably one of the worst performances I've seen from them up until 80 minutes.
That's after the game, and it was, I think in the whole game we had 20 shots and only 3 of them were on target.
That's not good enough, really, is it?
So we need to be more clinical with the chance. I know we're getting in the positions, but we're just not putting them away. And it's like I say, it was typical Sunderland, because Burnley dropped points and Sheffield United dropped points, so we could have closed that gap by 2 points.
How many times has this happened?
How many times, it's the Sunderland way.
It is, mate.
It really is. But listen, we didn't get beat in the end.
We didn't.
We were lucky not to be fair, because we were outplayed for the majority of the game. And then in the last 10 minutes when we actually turned up, we were dominant. We could have had a couple more, but it just wasn't to be, so we ended up having to settle for a point.
Another thing I want to mention, mate, did you see the crack about if you don't use your season ticket for 70% of the time, they'll take it off you?
I've seen something like that.
That is bad, by the way.
Wait, we don't know the full ins and outs. I've read like the brief statement of what it was and things like that, but that's an interesting one. It really is.
But what about when things like this happen, mate? And because of Sky, they're changing the times, like 12:30 on a kick-off, but you've got to take your band to grassroots.
What's that? My cousin's got a season ticket. He lives in Somerset, so he doesn't get up every game. He never misses an away game.
Aye.
But he doesn't. He comes to the home games when he can, but he lives down Somerset. But
I think that'll be really looked at, wouldn't it?
I think that's the one that needs more detail to it. But yeah, on that, obviously the renewals for the season tickets have came out. Obviously there's a slight price increase. Which I've got no complaints about, to be fair. I mean, obviously I didn't like paying more money, but
we're one of the cheapest in the thing.
But we are one of the cheapest, and also
at the end of the season, it could be Premier League. It could be Premier League.
It could be, yeah. We're either going to get 19 home games or 23 home games.
Exactly.
So, you know what I mean?
But for me, though, these prices, if we're going up, it's good.
Yeah,
I'll be buzzing with that,
mate. Of course, yeah. But I mean, I'll still be renewing. I might have to sell me horse on the corner of the street somewhere, but I will. I'll get the money from somewhere. You know what I mean?
You man, yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, I suppose now we better move on to the Coventry game on Saturday.
Now Coventry, Stephen. Everybody was really surprised when they sacked Mark Robbins in November. He guided them to the FA Cup final and also
semi-final.
Within was it the semis?
Yeah. They should have got to the final, but they got robbed by Man U.
Man United, it was. They were in a fanny's hair, your word, from the Premier League as well, in the playoff final as well. So everyone was surprised when they sacked him, but listen, he's laid down really good foundations for Frank Lampard to build on, and they've went on a mad run, mate.
Well, they haven't, did. I mean, I remember Robbins got sacked just before we played them at home.
Aye.
And I was speaking to some Cov fans after the game, and they were fuming that Robbins had gone, and when they heard that Lampard was the favourite to get it, they were fuming. They weren't happy at all. And to be fair, when Lampard took over, he didn't get off to the best of starts, but it was probably just finding his feet, getting them to play his way. And I think they've only lost 2 games in the last 10.
Aye, they have.
So and one of them was against Leeds, and obviously the other one was on Tuesday night against Derby, so they had a little bit of blip. But their last 5 games have won 4 and lost 1, and that was against Derby.
The top of the league for form as well in the last 10.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's going to be a very, very hard game.
It always is. We haven't got a good record against Coventry anyway, and I mean, correct us if I'm wrong here, but I'm pretty sure we haven't beat them at their place since the 70s or something.
Oh, you're joking.
Something daft like that. Let us know in the comments. But I know it's a long time since we beat them at their place. So what an away game I've chosen to go to.
You know that. Well, you never know.
No,
you tend to go into the ones where we win.
Well, you know.
You remember Wigan 4-1?
Yeah.
What was the last one you went to?
Blackburn 2-2.
Yeah, right, you didn't lose.
Yeah.
I went to that one as well, I've just remembered.
And the one before that was Millwall 1-1. So, you know, never mind. This season, obviously, they didn't get up. They've won 16, drew 8 and lost 13. They're currently sitting in 6th, 15 points below us, I believe. No, 13 points below us. They've scored 52, but they've conceded 48, which is a goal difference of?
+4.
Well done. So they know how to score goals. We know they know how to score goals, but they have leaked a lot more than what they would have liked to. I've already said the last 5. Like I said,
one player, mate, he's been injured, and I'm quite glad, it's Jack Radini.
Jack Radoni, yeah.
Radoni, he's got 5 goals, but he's got 10 assists.
10 assists.
It makes things happen.
I hope he's still injured.
I hope
for
he is.
Saturday. Cov fans, if you're watching, I know you don't like us, but let us know, is he still injured or is he going to be trying to tear it up on Saturday? Other players, they've got a few to mention, let's be honest. They've got Haji Wright, who's a deadly striker. He's got 7 goals this season and 1 assist. Ellis Sims, who we know all too well, he's got 6 goals and 2 assists. Tatsuhiro Sakamoto, check that out. 4 goals and 5 assists.
He's a good player, him.
Victor Torp, he's got 6 goals, 2 assists. Bobby Thomas, who's a defender, might I add, has 5 goals, but no assists. We've mentioned Jack Radoni, and there was Efron Mason Clark with 5 goals and 5 assists.
Do you know what it is, mate?
So we've got a lot of players capable of scoring.
I was just about to say that. I've looked at the top scorers, and quite a few of them have 5 goals, 5 goals, 5 goals, 5 goals, 4 goals. I'm like,
they're a bit like us in that respect. If you think, well, like Reggie mentioned it after the Cardiff game when Mepham scored.
Aye.
We've got, I think Mepham was the 18th player this season that scored for us this season. So we've got goals all over the pitch, but so's Coventry.
I was there with the moon for Mepham to get his first goal.
Yeah, like, there's a lot of teams, like Preston were played, for example. Was it Preston or Cardiff? Cardiff. We mentioned them, and they had one player that had 12 goals. And the rest of them went on like 1 or 2 and things like that. So the one main player to focus on. But Coventry, they've got threats all over the pitch. And like I say, Lampard's got them. He's got them flying. They're playing very good football, and they're a dangerous team.
They are, mate. I totally agree with you. I'm kind of nervous about this one, simply because of the way they've been playing. Now, I know they did slip up in the last game against Derby County. It was a surprise result for everyone.
Yeah, it was.
You know what I mean? They were struggling down the bottom. But that's the thing, mate. Putting bets on against who you think's going to win down the bottom, they're fighting for their lives, so you're going to see shock results. Now, we are sort of struggling against teams down the bottom half of the table for that simple reason. They're fighting for their lives, so they'll want to wrong that right of getting beat away 2-0 after a really good run, and so they're going to be properly up for this one. I'm a bit nervous.
They've got the home advantage, and let's say we haven't got a good record against them, or especially at their place. Like I say, it is hopefully going to be a very entertaining game, but hopefully we come out on top.
Oh,
but,
definitely. The thing is, mate, Bristol City's closing, breathing
they
down
are
their
indeed,
necks.
yes.
They're only 2 points behind. Bristol City's flying as
Bristol
well.
City scored a late equaliser against Sheffield United the other night.
They
so
did. I was buzzing for them.
The race for the rest of the playoffs, I mean, I know ours isn't cemented in there yet, but something would have to go drastically wrong for us to fall out of the playoffs. But it's going to be interesting to watch the race. But like I say, we've just got to focus on each game at a time, and like I say, Saturday's Coventry.
Well then, Stephen, that's moving us on to
us.
Yes.
Us indeed.
Me and you.
We've already mentioned the formation type of thing. Like you say, we wanted 4-4-2 because it did work well in previous games where we tried it. Like I say, it didn't work well on Tuesday night.
But the thing is, though, Steve, there was numerous reasons why that didn't work. It wasn't just down to the formation, was it really?
No, it was down to the players as well. You mentioned earlier on, didn't you?
Ah, I did.
But I think, like I say, there's a few players got like Watson started. I think when Mundell came on, he was the only threat we had on the pitch. Really, and it took Mundell to come on and, like I say, his wonder goal, and he was creating other things, and basically the fullbacks were struggling to handle him. So I think he walks back into the team for me on Saturday.
Well, I've seen a lot of people giving stick to Reggie for his substitutes, but people didn't realise that Meander took a little knock. So it was precautionary the way Meander went off, because Meander was absolutely performing.
He said he was fatigued because he had played a lot of games recently. He's only 19 and in the championship games do come thick and fast, which leads us on to Meander or Isidore. If we go with the 4-5-1, which one do you start? For me, I'd start with Isidore, and then have Meander coming off the bench.
Now Meander's been in 17 games, mate. He's got 12 goal contributions, so that's good in itself. But Isidore's got 12 actual goals. So for me, it is a very hard one, but I would have to go with Isidore as the main striker. Now, does that mean not start Meander? Reggie probably win it in that formation, which I do understand in a way, because we've got 2 fit strikers, and we've got a lot of important games coming up. You didn't want any of them to get injured, so he is looking after them in a sense as well. But would you even start Meander out wide in Roberts' position?
No, I wouldn't, because personally I think Roberts has been all right the last few games. He's very tricky. I mean, he's still, even against Preston, he did a couple of good mazy runs. He got into good positions. They didn't connect with his shot properly, or some of his passes went through, but then we couldn't create nothing of it. So I think Roberts has been quite good over the last few games.
I have to agree with you, mate, because
I'd keep him on the right.
Do you know against Cardiff, when he got that injury, we just went to pot.
Yeah.
And it's just clear to see how important he is to our team by getting the ball further up the pitch, and like I've said before, relieving that little bit of pressure on us when teams are coming on. So his quality in the final third, he needs improving. Every shot he was trying was getting blocked, but for me, he's got to start. He's an outstanding talent, mate. The way he just sits players down on the arse, left, right and centre. Just the final ball, what he needs to improve on.
So line-up wise, I think if it's 4-5-1, I think it picks itself. If I'm honest with you, obviously Pato's in goal. O'Neill met him in the centre. Hume right back, Cirkin left back. Neil, Rigg and Job in the middle with Mundell on the left, Roberts on the right, and then for me, Isidore up top.
I can't believe I'm going to say this. I agree.
Aye, but then you've got my end to come off the bench, Watson to come off the bench. Electric's still there. I still like to see more of him because every time he's come on, he's showed promise.
He has. I'm surprised he hasn't got more minutes, to be honest.
I am as well, but we don't know why.
See, do you know the thing is, mate, we haven't been beating teams by 3 goals, so then you can, give them lads extra minutes and chances.
Yeah.
We've only been winning it by the odd goal, so
it has been tight. He's got to be his substitutes. He's got to try and make the right ones.
Exactly.
To not throw it away, or not. I mean, we've threw away too many points this season, but. Look, it's one of them. Like we said before the Cardiff game, we've just got to take each game as it comes, and we've got to go for each game at a time. Just keep on looking ahead.
I want to see a massive improvement from Cardiff. Massive improvement
from the performance of Cardiff and Preston. We need a big performance.
I did definitely, because that performance for up to 80 minutes wasn't acceptable at all. They were shocking. They were losing possession constantly. But like you see, they went to 4-4-2 and they might not have just been used to it, but they still got to up the levels. They were poor, regardless of the formation.
Yeah.
So then, mate, we may as well move on to score predictions. Do you want to go first, or should I?
You can go first if you want.
Right then. I didn't want to get into too much detail. We've said all we need to say, but we need a massive improvement. Obviously, they'll want to improve from the 2-0 defeat. I'm going to go for Sunderland. I always do. 1-0 away win. I think we'll nick it in the 94th minute. In the
94th? That's very, very precise.
It is.
Well, I think obviously every time we go on Coventry, it's a very, very tough game. Like I say, they are on form. We need a big reaction, like Paul said. I'm going for a stalemate. I think it's going to be 2-2, like it was at home. I do believe.
It's not the worst result in the world.
Oh, wouldn't we? I'd take a draw down there, no bother. But obviously, I hope your prediction's right.
Yeah,
I really do. But I think it's going to be. My prediction's 2-2.
I think you'll lose your nut if my prediction comes down now.
Oh God,
it'll be absolute.
It'll be a hell of a journey back. I'll tell you that. Let us know what your score predictions are. Get them in the comments below. Yep. Like Paul said, we've got 2 shirts to give away. We've been sitting on them for ages, so we're sick of them. So get your score predictions. You get them right. Your name's in a hat. We'll draw them out next week in the next video, and you might win a shirt.
You will do indeed. That's about it then. Hit the thumbs up
and subscribe if you're new. And we're the lads. Oh, and by the way, if you see us down Coventry, come and say hello. And I'll let you buy us a pint. I'm that nice. How are the lads?